Hello, everybody. I'm here to talk about the Green Bay Packers and their first game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Wow, what a first week. A brutal first week, definitely, to say the least. The Packers, they lost the Philadelphia Eagles 34-29 in their first game, in the first ever NFL game in Brazil, in Sao Paulo. Meanwhile, every other NFC North team won. The Bears won, the Lions won, the Vikings won. Doesn't matter who they play, doesn't matter how good the win was based off of stats or scoring or anything. They won, and every team, for the first time that I can kind of remember as a fan of the Green Bay Packers, the Green Bay Packers are the sole team in the NFC North that win week one. Everybody else won the first game. And on top of all of that, Jordan Love is hurt. MCL sprain or whatever. He's going to be out. Everyone says 3 to 6 weeks. We all know this. I'm hoping that he can maybe make some kind of comeback this week. Got the Colts. And I'm going to the Titans game in week 3. So that really blows that I might not be able to see Jordan Love play live. But, it's next man up. You can't make excuses. The rest of the team needs to step up, of course. And Malik Willis, we'll see. You never know. The rest of the team is still good, I think. So there's no reason to panic. And yes, worst case scenario, I feel like the Packers might go 0-3, 0-4. Yeah, it could happen. And at which point it will be very difficult to come back and get a wild card spot. A little weird bug out there, but jeez, flying around. Anyway, you have to remember the Green Bay Packers. They were 2-5 last year. 2-5. 3 games below .500 at one point. They were also 6-8 too. So, the point is, it's a long season. You can't overreact week one. But yes, this is probably one of the more brutal week ones I think I've ever endured as a Packers fan, which I know is not saying much. I know, spoiled. But definitely a disappointing start to the season. But nothing to blow up about. Anyway, just wanted to go over a few things that I saw. First of all, I want to say, that was a good game. I think that was one of the better games all of week one. That Packers-Eagles game, high scoring, back and forth battle, good offense, really good offensive drives in the second quarter. And the third quarter had defense too. And there were nice turnovers by both teams. I'm telling you, we got to see these two teams. The Brazilian crowd got to see these two teams, two of the best teams in the NFC, in full action. And we got a really good international game. However, yes, this field is terrible. I'm sorry, but my eyes don't lie. These players were slipping like crazy, both teams. And it definitely affected the game when you consider, when quarterbacks throw and they use their back foot to plant, and running backs and linemen. Footwork is everything in football. It's such an important thing. And I don't think this field was very attuned for the game. I know that it has hosted many soccer games. It hosted the World Cup and the Olympics in 2016, but my eyes don't lie. I saw these players slipping like crazy. I don't think it was very tuned. So now the NFL prepares to do this more by having more international games. They want to have one in Spain, I hear now, and one in Australia, and one in Paris, one in Abu Dhabi, while also still having games in London, having games in Germany. My feelings about it are mixed, because it does take away an entire home game for one team, which kind of sucks. It does kind of suck. I know that you want to grow the sport, but I don't know. It's just mixed vibes on it, because, it's an American sport, and you don't see the soccer leagues in Britain coming to the UK. They did for an exhibition one time at Lambeau, I remember, but that was an exhibition. That wasn't a real game. It's kind of whatever. Why don't you do preseason games? That's what baseball does. That's what basketball does. So, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Anyway, off topic, let's get right back into the game. That's just a little bit of criticism that I wanted to say. Obviously, I hope Love is okay, and that's what we're all worried about. It's kind of ironic, because when the Packers went up 6-0 off of the 2 field goals in the first quarter, and then Philly took the lead 7-6, I had that last year's playoff game against the Niners vibes. It's Green Bay, they're playing good, they're playing arguably a harder better opponent. And here they are, playing good, getting points. But they're only getting field goals. They're not taking advantage of opportunities that are presented to them. And they're only getting field goals. And what does Philly do? They get a touchdown. And it doesn't matter if you get field goals. Just like that, the Packers are down by 1. And this same exact score was like the halftime score for the Niners game. So I kind of had a feeling like, okay, this is going to be a good game. This is going to be a close game. But like, it is not going to be, I don't think we're going to win. And obviously the Packers did not win, unfortunately. And I was kind of expecting a win, yeah. So, but hey, congrats to the Eagles. They definitely got a good team over there. All the issues that happened last year with the 1-5 ending to the season and losing to the Buccaneers, yeah, I mean, maybe that was just a bad run. I mean, it was still a close game. But the ironic part, too, is I was ready to accept the loss as early as, like, the second quarter. Like, I feel like we're not going to win this game. And when Green Bay was down in the fourth quarter and Philly converted that first down at the very, it was like 31-29, and Philly converted the first down that actually kind of sealed it, I remember thinking, yeah, this will be a loss. That kind of sucks. I want to start the whole week, the preseason off with a win, but this is going to be a loss. Okay, I'll take it. But it was extremely insulting to my mind to accept that and then see Jordan Love, our franchise quarterback, get hurt. Yeah, that's definitely one of the more insulting things. And I feel like fan base is getting screwed over, and it's like, yeah, there have been fan bases that are screwed over. I feel like maybe like the Lions fans, where like there's like the Justin Tucker field goal that like was the longest field goal ever, and it just bounced in. They would have won the game. I kind of feel like that. It's like, okay, we lost. I accept it. I'll take it with grace. But to have Jordan Love hurt on the second to last play of the game, that is disappointing, to say the least. It's not fun at all. It reminds me, too, of, like, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm also a Bucks fan. Giannis being hurt the last 2 postseasons, he's getting paid all this money. And that's also, like, just such an annoying part of this injury. Jordan Love just got a big contract. Whether you agree with it or not, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he got hurt, which obviously is nothing. It's no one's fault. Like, I don't think it was a dirty play. I don't even think it was the field's fault. I don't blame the field. It's just football. It's a contact sport. Injuries happen. And Jordan Love, unfortunately, got injured right after signing a big contract. He will be back. But still, when you have a whole bunch of money, not really, it's like it's weird to talk about like this. But, like, yeah, we're paying, if the Packers are going to pay him a lot of money, they want to get, like, a good value out of him. That sounds weird to say, but it's sports. Like, you pay players to play good. You give players money. What are you paying these players for? You're paying these players for their talent so that they can help win games. And, and obviously they want to win too. It's a business. It is a business. You have to remember this whole thing, sports, it's a business. They don't do this just for fun. Like, they also want to get paid. Everyone needs to get paid. It's a career. There's money. There's money involved. And when a player who gets paid all this money is now sitting on the bench, sometimes it can just set a franchise back. I mean, you think about the Jets last year with Aaron Rodgers. It's like, that was supposed to be such a big year for the New York Jets. And it, like, got completely wasted because of this injury that, once again, is not really anybody's fault. It's not whoever sacked him. It's football, man. It happens. And it's extremely, extremely unlucky. Of course, the Packers, we have gotten off a little bit easier than the Jets last year because Love is not going to be out for the whole season. Anyway, that kind of dominated the whole game, of course, Love's injury. And I want to, go back into, like, just the issues that I saw with the Packers and, like, my thoughts on the game itself, besides just the injury, which, took over the entire news of the game. Overall, I was happy with the Green Bay Packers. I did think they'd win, but seriously, if they can at least make it close, I'm happy. It's just the regular season. It's just the first game. They don't need to win the first game, okay? I'd rather you lose the first game than win it if it means that, we'll be better later in the season. Not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying, there's no reason to panic And yeah, I was overall happy with like a lot of the things I saw. It's good and bad. The offense, they were able to, like, the offense lived up to the hype, I think. Besides the red zone inefficiencies with settling for field goals, Jayden Reed did great. And, as long as one of our receivers can do good each game, that is all that matters. And Jordan Love's got so many players to throw to, like, it's going to happen. And for this game, it was Jayden Reed. Jayden Reed, yeah, unfortunately, now that Jordan Love's hurt, I don't know if we can really expect that in the future. There is now a train going by, so I'm sorry if you hear this, but whatever. But like, yeah, the team, they were driving down the field. They got plenty of touchdowns. They got field goals. It's disappointing to find out that the team was not able to, be super good in the red zone. And that's the key. Like, when you play close games, I feel like that's always the key. Can the team get touchdowns instead of field goals? That's the key. And, yeah, the Eagles, they scored more touchdowns than the Packers. So, there you go. As for like why that happened, I think one of the annoying things was penalties, of course. And, yeah, I just feel like the Packers need to do a better job of not having penalties. Holding penalties are always killer. I think there were a few times where there were holding penalties. One was like in the red zone in the first quarter. It kind of eliminated the whole chance of a touchdown happening on that drive. Yeah, they're just the worst. Holding penalties are the worst. They kind of ruin drives. They're kind of drive enders. It kind of sucks, And then, okay, camera died there for a second. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I think I was talking about dropped catches. See, the thing is, like, yes, there were a few drop catches that were pretty disappointing to see, but however, I feel like it's a combination of rust, just like, first game jitters, and also the field. Once again, I will blame the field. I just feel like, your footwork is everything in football, and, either you set your feet to pass or you're running routes, it's a big deal, and how you position yourself to potentially make tough catches. It's a lot, and I do feel like it affects Love and the receivers. So, I'm not gonna make excuses for it. But all I could really think of was, I'm happy we're not gonna play on this field again for the rest of the season. We're gonna play at like Lambeau or any of the other like official 30 stadiums in the NFL. I was happy about that, and I took comfort in that. Despite all these issues, they still nearly won the game. And I know that this game was tough on the Eagles too. Applaud both teams, man. They had to travel 10 hours. As we look ahead to the future, we don't really know yet if Jordan Love is going to play week 2 or not. They're kind of taking it a day at a time. All we can really do now is just hope that he'll be back as soon as possible. Hopefully with Malik Willis at quarterback, the Packers can try to snag a win, at least one. Because if Love's going to be out for, like, let's say the next 3 games, that's Colts, Titans, and Vikings, right? If the Packers can win just one of those games and be 1-3, I think that's okay. Teams can come back from 1-3. It's 0-3 and 0-4. That's like very difficult. Like I don't know the exact mathematics. I probably should, but I know that there's only been only 2 teams out of like hundreds of teams that started 0-3 that made the playoffs. And obviously, like, if the Green Bay was to go 0-3, they'd definitely be one of those teams that could probably do it because, they're 0-3. The only reason they're 0-3 is because they've loved their best players out. If he was playing, they wouldn't be 0-3. Yeah, but it'll be difficult. I expect a much more intense season, just like last year, down to the wire, possibly another situation where we are playing for our playoff lives in December. Last game of the season, it'll be a winner-in scenario, and will be a 7th seed or a 6th seed. Yeah, this might happen again. Probably won't win the division. That's probably the Lions. That really is the Lions lose now, because they're gonna. Yeah, we'll just see what happens. And it all depends too on like if Green Bay can somehow make it work in these next games. They got the Colts, and they got the Titans. The Colts are not a pushover. The Titans did terrible against the Bears. And the Bears played bad. So there's a good chance that the Packers can beat the Titans, but the Colts are good, so I don't know. The Vikings, who knows, man? The Vikings look good, but they also play the Giants, so I don't know. But the Colts, I mean, yeah, the Packers have not been 0-2 in a while, so this might be the first time that they are 0-2. Unfortunately, kind of sucks. I've never experienced that as a fan. I wasn't even, the last time they went 0-2 was 2006. I was like 3 back then, 4. I think I was 4. I was 4 years old. I have blind faith. I have blind optimism. I'm kind of an optimistic fan when it comes to sports. And that's the thing too. Like, I was optimistic last year, even when the Packers were not playing very well last year. I remember saying, like, Jordan Love, he can get better at any moment, and he got better. So all I can really say now is I like to be optimistic and say, hey, you know what? Watch Jordan Love be okay. Probably not going to happen, but you never know. Good game. It was a good game. I think that was like probably one of the best games of week 1, easily. All the primetime games were pretty good, except for last night's Jets-Niners game. Niners just kind of won that easily, but no, Ravens-Chiefs was good, and a good start for the NFL overall. A lot of good storylines this year. And not the one that I hope to start with the Packers, but you know, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I got good faith. Yeah. All right.